Hi, welcome to She Spice. Things are getting wild in Doton, Illinois after Tiffany Henyard, who's been hauling the title of America's most horrendously awful city chairman, has apparently pulled a vanishing act. Just later, the FBI thumped on her entryway with summons and sent off an all-out criminal examination, and yes, she's the same self-announced super city chairman who has been swaggering around like she's distant now, in the event that your YouTube feed has been exploding with recordings about Tiffany. You're in good company. Individuals are genuine asking why she's so abhorred and how she's actually clutching her position in spite of all the obscure stuff she's been blamed for since. Supposing that she's actually this awful, why hasn't she been removed from office yet? So here's the tea. Tiffany isn't simply Doton city chairman. She's likewise the Thornton municipality boss, and she's been hit with a clothing rundown of charges. We're looking at abusing citizen cash for her own extravagance, like traveling around and getting herself a bit of a multitude of individual safety officers. Gracious. And she's additionally been blamed for utilizing citizen cash to pay her own beautician, since what we're not going to do is we're not going to be destitute behind her raising our expenses. And you said that you have great business abilities. Then, at that point, you ought to investigate the financial plan again. You are a local official. You serve us, yet stand by. It gets more insane. This isn't pretty much a couple of terrible choices. Tiffany's conduct is directly up unhinged. She continues to twofold down on her jokes and will not take ownership of any of it. And presently, the situation starts to get interesting in light of the fact that word on the road is that Tiffany has gone Mia. This entire circumstance is a wreck, and believe me, you will need to get some popcorn for this one. I'm going to spill all the tea on the stunning claims against Tiffany Henyard, so remain tuned on the grounds that this story is about to get significantly more crazy. Be embarrassed about you all. You all are dark, and you all are sitting up here beating, and it is in to go after on a person of color power. You all ought to be disgraced if you all. America's most exceedingly awful city chairman, Tiffany Aisha Henyard, is a majority role legislator who has been managing everything as the City Hall leader of Doton, Illinois, beginning around 2021, and she, moreover, turned into the Thornton municipality boss in 2022. However, Tiffany's time and power have only shown her name has been all around the titles, and not for good reasons. Monetary blunder, debasement, extortion, and a ton of obscure business throughout the last year. Tiffany's been conflicting big time with the greater part of the town's leading group of legal administrators. What's more, trust me, it's been an all-out wreck presently. The buzz about Tiffany being an aggregate man began way back in August 2019, when CBS2 Chicago uncovered that a property Tiffany claimed and was gathering Area 8 lodging sponsorships for had some genuinely dreadful issues, from extreme form to water spillage. It began once again here in the corner, and that is where it began, and then, at that point, it just spread it. Jacqueline Smith says she's combating mold in many spots as an after effect of unrepaired breaks in her Doton rental home. It spills in the corner where the top of the roof is harmed, and then, at that point, it releases going into my kitchen, and the window seal spills in my little girl's room. These are as an after effect of unrepaired breaks in her Doton rental home. It spills in the corner where the top of the roof is harmed, and then, at that point, it releases going into my kitchen, and the window seal spills in my little girl's room. These are a few pictures of what she says is downpour, trickling from her girl's room window. She says shape additionally became on her girl's shoes and is all around the side of the house, which is claimed by the Doton legal administrator. My most memorable name is Tiffany. Tiffany Henyard is baffling and aggravating. I simply don't feel that I ought to be living like this by November 2019. Things had gotten so awful that the spot was proclaimed appalling, and the inhabitant needed to get together and leave. However, here's the kicker. Tiffany supposedly continued to trade out those segment 8, really takes a look at don't like anything happened. The inhabitant called her out for not making the slightest effort to fix the shape issue. And when the media heard about it, individuals began diving into the crude investigation history of her property. Currently, quick forward to October 2020, and Tiffany chose to toss her cap in the ring for City Hall leader. She emerged swinging, censoring occupant city chairman Riley Rogers and his time in office, and in an emotional bend. Tiffany took out Rogers in a four-manner essential to win the popularity-based assignment, and when the April general political race moved around, she squashed it, winning around 82% of the vote against an autonomous up-and-comer. Ronnie Burge. I can't resist the urge to stop, and I appreciate the noteworthy importance of this arrangement. I invest heavily in being an African-American lady pioneer. Tiffany likewise brought along her purported dream group, which included contenders for legal administrator and town agent positions. Two of her legal administrator packs, Kiana Beller and Jason House, alongside town agent Allison Key, made it into office. However, the special night didn't keep going long. The fellowship soured quick, and those equivalent people were collaborating with the vast majority of the town board to make a legitimate move against Tiffany. As a matter of fact, inside only 6 months of Tiffany's experience as city chairman, the legal administrators were, at that point, tossing shade her way. They were calling her out for how she was spending metropolitan assets and for running an obscure, low straightforwardness activity. And by April 2022, things got so chaotic that the town board in fact sued Tiffany, blaming her for having some serious, irreconcilable situations. However, Tiffany wasn't going to go down without a battle. She terminated back, blaming certain legal administrators of creating mischief, and even went to the extent that keeping them out of their workplaces and dropping executive gatherings. Cassandra Stone has been the assessor here in Thornton Municipality for the past 10 years, a chosen position that makes a difference. Occupants manage exclusions and local charge requests. However, when she showed up working earlier today, something bizarre happened. This was your office indeed. What happened when you attempted to open it doesn't work. Not just had Stone been kept out of her own office, yet boxes of touchy records that she kept in her office were spread around the normal region. This was under lock and key before this was under lock and key. What's more, presently it's barely out in the open at this point. It's barely out in the open, so it has the citizen's name address. So who did this to you? Well, I'm making do. This new manager, Tiffany Henderson. The legal administrators weren't having it. However, they began holding their own gatherings without her and formally controlled Tiffany, a movement that we pay the bills for the overall. Is there a second? It's been movement, and the second vehicle is dependable. Jones, no radio quietness after Henyard endeavors to get General Reserve bills paid. Here's the reason the legal administrators didn't oblige it. You all still tried not to need to push ahead, paying any of the bills in the general asset. That is my question. Is there daily with the earlier week that we could pick that we could set to audit the bills? Trust me, you all, as of now, have the bills. Do you need to pay the charge? Our gathering is on. We're here. Time to audit question is to survey invo request is here a movement on the floor to pay the general. However, that is not indeed even the portion of it. Individuals in the town, recent inhabitants, representatives, and entrepreneurs, the same, began coming forward with allegations that Tiffany was utilizing her ability to pursue anybody who thought for even a second to go against her. There are claims that she had the town police pestered organizations that didn't uphold her, and indeed even attempted to press crusade commitments bankrupt proprietors' goodness. Furthermore, she's likewise been blamed for terminating a few town workers only for political reasons, and afterward, during Walk 2024, things took a dull turn when NBC Chicago promoted documents that got through an opportunity of data demand, uncovering that the Illinois branch of Human Freedoms was examining a serious case, including Tiffany, the town of Doton, and furthermore, Thornton Municipality, as indicated by the reports. Tiffany's previous right hand guaranteed that she was raped by a town legal administrator, Andrew Holmes, during an outing to Las Vegas, and to make an already difficult situation even worse, the associate guaranteed she was fought back against by Tiffany herself. This is our previous evening in Vegas when we call it a day. Is anyone raising a ruckus around town with me? You know it's my birthday, and each said no, or on the other hand, they had another thing to do. Yet Andrew, Miles said that he's assuming he's idiotic doing anything he was doing. You realize he'll find us okay, so fine in any case. I basically realized I got a man with me. I will make it home. I even got to stress over going on and on to go on the strip without help from anyone else. I legitly felt that you realize I planned to make it home until my last memory was me awakening in his room. You've been letting me know they so pleased with me, And at first, I never comprehended what they could be glad for in light of the fact that I just felt as was I simply doing what? Correct on the grounds that it worked out to me yet then, at that point, emerging and the news putting out my report, in hearing that it very well may be conceivably different casualties that brought me considerably more, however, it resembled. That is the reason they glad for you in light of the fact that you let them ladies feel like I can say something. Is someone's going to remain with me since I was done wrong? Obviously, Tiffany terminated back, calling the charges absolutely misleading, and, what's more, faulting displeased representatives for blending the pot in the interim. Tiffany recently continued to stack up. She got hit with additional claims for spending town assets without getting approval from the leading group of legal administrators. Things got warmed in those board gatherings with legal administrators and Tiffany going this way, and that over the town's ways of managing money. I wouldn't trust this lady in the event that she remained on a stack of books of scriptures and had her tongue notarized. Not something damn she expresses comes out of her mouth is valid. Then in January 2024, subscribe She Spice for more videos.